think it's about time that I actually touch this topic, seeing how I'm going to be doing more sports videos in the future and probably even creating my own sports channel strictly for sports topics. But guys, I got to talk about this DeShaun Watson situation because it's actually kind of crazy. Now, before we get into this, I want to let you know that there's been a lot of very, very dumb takes out there. Very, very bad. And of course, there's just too many to actually count. And of course, if you go to Twitter, you've got people comparing the situation to Ben Roethlisberger. Now, guys, I want to go let you know right off the bat, I am not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm not a Houston Texans fan. I'm not even a DeShaun Watson's fan. As a matter of fact, my team beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl back in 2010, Super Bowl 45. I'm a Packers fan, okay? So I've got no dog in the fight here to defend one and objectify or, defend one and actually throw the other under the bus. I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I'm kind of going off script because I think this right is a thing that, quite frankly, is very, very simple when you actually think about it. Now, guys, DeShaun Watson, if you don't know, was accused of sexually assaulting, sexual misconduct with close to 30 separate massage therapists, massage workers, masseuses actually. I mean, I know the total was probably not accurate, but it was a lot. And you probably think to yourself, my God, what kind of man does this? Now, really quick, I'm not a MAGTOW guy. I'm definitely not a male feminist. I'm neither one of the two. If you're actually subscribed to this channel, you'll know that I'm very much anti the SJW. However, right is right and wrong is wrong, and I think we need to discuss it. And the thing is this right here. Men, if they go in to get a massage, most men just go in there and they want to get something, like me, for example, I lift weights. I go get a massage once every 3 months or whatnot. Get on the table for about, maybe sometimes a chair, just get my upper body done, about 20 minutes or so. Get up, you friggin' move around. That's the reason why you go get a massage. Of course, you hear stories about happy endings and crap like that right there, which, quite frankly, I've never actually heard of anybody actually getting, and I was in the Marines for 4 years, and I've basically been in and out of the bar most of my life. But I'm pretty sure you guys get the idea. Now, the thing is this right here. People are comparing this situation to Ben Roethlisberger, and I'm here to tell you right now it's not the same. So I'm going to do a comparison of this situation, and then I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what I think should actually happen as a result of this. But first and foremost, right now the NFL is mulling an indefinite suspension of DeShaun Watson. So the first thing I got to do is I got to kind of make fun of the Cleveland Browns here. So the Cleveland Browns traded basically the farm for a quarterback who had not played in a year. And, of course, has had some injuries. And, by the way, DeShaun Watson is a very good quarterback. I'm not taking anything away from him. One of the best young quarterbacks out there. And he signed a massively large contract with the Texans, and, of course, they traded him. And, of course, he's getting paid more money by Cleveland. They did this while he was in trouble at this point in time. He had this over him, and I thought it was one of the dumbest trades I'd ever seen because they basically gave up the farm, and they're giving up this guy close to $250 million. Million. You have anything about Kyler Murray and his contract situation where he's got to watch 4 hours of film to freaking get paid, which, by the way, got revoked. That may even be another video another day. But the thing is this right here, though. DeShaun is getting paid all this money. He may not even play the first year. Now, quarterbacks have got to learn a brand new system, a brand new scheme. So, Browns fans, I hate to tell you this, you're not going to be competitive the first year when he's there. You may not even be competitive the second year he's there because you got to get used to new players coming in from the draft because you're probably going to be drafting pretty high again this year. That being said, though, let's talk about Ben Roethlisberger really quick, and then we're going to compare this to DeShaun Watson. First and foremost, what happened to Ben Roethlisberger was, to my knowledge, and I'm paraphrasing here, just summarizing, I will leave an actual article in the description box. If you guys find anything wrong, please leave it in the comment section. I'm just kind of free-balling here, just kind of moving on this way. So, basically what happened with Ben Roethlisberger was that he was in a nightclub, and Roethlisberger was 28, 29 years old at the time. He had won 2 Super Bowls already. Also, something else, too, is that Ben had basically just been out with an entourage, and a few young girls come up there who ended up being underage, and he got accused of sexual misconduct with them. Okay, now here's the thing about Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger was eventually suspended for 4 games. Now, no man married should be in a club at all looking and talking to other women. I'm sorry, I'm old-fashioned that way. You can call me a simp, whatever. I'm sorry. If I got a girlfriend, I got a wife, regardless of circumstances, I'm not running around here. I'm not looking to go to the bar on my own. I think that's a ticket. I mean, have you ever guys heard the expression that when your girlfriend says, go ahead and go on out, and she basically just dares you to do it, and you go do it, what the hell happens to you when you get home? You just don't do that crap. I mean, if you want to end the marriage or you're thinking about ending the marriage, then maybe you should have a conversation with your significant other on that. That's just where I am. But the girls, in that case, eventually came back before the season started when they were trying to levy Ben's suspension. And I remember thinking to myself at that time, I think the suspension is bullcrap because the girls are changing their story. That's pretty much what happened. They changed their story. Now, let me tell you what I think happened, and then we'll go to DeShaun Watson. In the case of DeShaun Watson, and by the way, believe every woman, I think, is a very, very bad thing to assume. I think what you should do is believe everybody on face value, then actually investigate. That's just who I am in every single case. Even if it's a blatant case, I think you need to review the evidence and actually look at the reasons why this occurred before you make a full assessment or full judgment. I know I'm guilty of making snap judges of myself. We're all human. We make mistakes. But the thing is this right here. In the case of Ben Roethlisberger, especially now with the Me Too movement and everything, it's kind of hard to believe everyone when you've got people like Amber Heard out there making up stories about her husband and then come to find out she was 10 times worse than he was during the actual trial. And that most of what was actually being said turned out to actually not be true. So it's kind of hard to do that. The Me Too movement has killed any form of credibility that men are going to have when they deal with women. And, of course, you saw this situation back in 2009, 2010, and nobody tends to actually look at it. They're actually just now bringing it up, and they think it was some massive crime, when in reality, chances are probably nothing happened. Now, the thing about Big Ben was this here. Like I said, the girls, they backed out. They changed their story. Now, let me tell you what I think actually happened in that case. I think what happened is that because Big Ben fought this tooth and nail to protect his name and protect his record, the girls' families got involved and said, look, did he really and truly do this? Does this really how this entire thing went? I mean, we're suing an NFL football player who is not settling out of court. We're suing a football player who, quite frankly, is showing no signs of giving in to us. Are you sure about this? Because a lot of times these cases are about just getting a settlement. Are we doing this? My guess is they changed their story because it probably didn't happen, or it probably didn't happen the way they said it. Okay, now let's fast forward to DeShaun Watson. DeShaun Watson's got close to 30 girls total saying that he did some very, very inappropriate sexual acts. Most of those girls, after the grand jury indictment, they just kind of backed out and decided to let it go. Were they looking for money? Was that what they were doing? Well, you got these 4 girls who are relenting, who are basically saying, look, we're not giving in. We're going to continue to fight this all the way to the end. Of course, an independent arbitrator looks at the situation and says, we think the recommendation is 6 games at best. Right now, the NFL is looking for an indefinite suspension, which I think is completely hypocritical when you actually factor. Now, by the way, nobody's excusing what DeShaun Watson did, but it's hypocritical, and I'll explain why here in a second, why it's extremely, and I mean extremely jacked up this going down this way. Now, guys, you probably just got a wrong idea of what I said, and I intentionally worded it that way for a reason. You see, me personally, I think that DeShaun Watson should, at the bare minimum, get 8 games with a fine. What I mean by that is he gets suspended for 8 games with an actual fine, if not the entire year. I think 6 games, and him actually, if it's 6 games without pay, is kind of light. I think it should be 8 games without pay. The guy's a freaking millionaire. Make his ass pay a bunch of money to a charity. Make him pay about $10 million to a charity. I wouldn't dox the Cleveland Browns franchise for being a bunch of idiots, which, by the way, that's what they are. It's a bunch of morons. But still, at the same time, though, I do think that DeShaun Watson should get punished for this. Now, here's where things are a little bit jacked up. Ben Roethlisberger got 4 games for an accusation that girls eventually backtracked on. Okay, that's one. Calvin Ridley got basically a year-long suspension for a small mistake when it came to online gambling. The media made a hoopla about Aaron Rodgers' vaccination status when he basically said, I've been immunized. And, of course, the Green Bay Packers organization did not follow up with an actual follow-up. Maybe what they should have done was they should have said, what do you mean by immunized? Have you been vaccinated? And I'm pretty sure that Rodgers would have actually said, he actually had a follow-up. He claimed that they didn't ask. I mean, the Green Bay Packers press corps really fucked that one up. And then they actually blamed Rodgers when he missed a game. I mean, you see the hypocrisy of the NFL here? You're suspending Calvin Ridley over a minor infraction, which he probably should just pay a fine for. Tom Brady, dude, Deflategate. I mean, they suspended him for 4 games. Okay, but this guy right here, and I understand that DeShaun Watson has not been criminally charged. But this guy right here, who basically goes into 30 separate massage parlors or gets a hold of 30 separate masseuses and treats them like crap and tries to sexually be involved with them, and of course inappropriately, but yet he only gets 6 games. Doesn't make any sense. And by the way, I'm not a fan of Tom Brady, but I just defended Tom Brady just now. Very, very weird, huh? I'm not a fan of him, but I got to call out the BS. I mean, Now you got the Miami Dolphins because of the whole Brian Flores stuff. Now they're claiming tampering. They've lost the first and the third round pick over this crap. I mean, sounds to me like a bunch of bullshit. Ray Lewis. Didn't he actually kill somebody? He was accused. It was alleged. I'm not going to say he did. But he continued to play. Antonio Brown straight up sexually assaulted a girl. Antonio Brown also threw a chair out of a window in a hotel in Doral, Florida. Damn near killed a kid. No suspension. No nothing. Barely even a fine. But yet, DeShaun Watson does this right here to a bunch of girls, and yet he only gets a 6-game suspension. And now you guys see the PR nightmare that comes out, and now you think to yourself, well, now we need to go to indefinite. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but indefinite suspension, that doesn't always mean that the person's going to be suspended indefinitely. Could be a suspension of only 2 games. Could be a suspension of only 1. Could be a suspension of 3. Lay down the law. Tell him flat out, 8 games, you pay a massive fine. I know somebody in the comment section is going to say you're being a beta male, but dude, sex is sex, and sex crimes are pretty bad. And I understand that some of these right here have not been proven, but you're talking 4 other girls are saying to themselves, no, I'm not going to give in on this issue. I'm going to take this thing all the way down to the wire. Now, maybe they're looking for money, maybe they're looking for a profit. But still at the same time, though, sex, actually, come on. I mean, like I said, the NFL looks completely hypocritical here. Calvin Ridley, small infraction. He gets a year suspension. Tom Brady, Deflategate. Hell, they gave him 4 games. Just deflating a few footballs. And he deflated those footballs, by the way, in a game that the Colts lost 45-7. I mean, it doesn't look like deflating a football would have mattered anything because the Colts obviously sucked that night. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, of course, he didn't get a suspension, but Aaron Rodgers, massive hoopla because he said immunized and not vaccinated. Big Ben. Girls changed their story. I mean, the NFL right now really looks like a massive shitpot. Let us not forget that John Gruden basically lost his job. He resigned, but he was about to get fired over some emails from 10 or 15 years prior. I mean, it's insane the level of hypocrisy the NFL has come to. I mean, and people still watch it. I mean, I'm no longer emotionally connected to the game, but I just figured I would throw this out here that you're looking worse and worse and worse every day. And it's starting to look, I guess, somewhat like the WWE and somewhat scripted. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video sound in the comment section. If I got anything wrong, if you disagree, throw it in the comments. I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you. I'm not like everybody else.